Got Your Back Pod Stream is brought to you by JL Financial Solutions. If you're an Albertan looking to plan your financial future, you want someone you can trust. Together with Sun Life's estate and financial planning services, JL Financial Solutions will develop a plan you can be confident in to grow and protect your wealth. Give Jonathan Lambert and his team a call at 780-733-0910. Bring on Game 7, baby. Ho, ho, ho. Man, oh, man. How exciting is this going to be? Game 7, all-Canadian matchup, everything on the line. Oilers, Canucks. They stave off elimination. Jason Strudwick and Rob Brown are standing by. Chris Sabunia is at the controls. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. Live post-game edition. We are live streaming on YouTube and on Twitter. Thanks to everybody that's hopping in. Looking forward to taking the temperature of Oiler Nation tonight after a huge, convincing win by the Oilers. Coming at you from our Long Shot studio here in Sherwood Park. All Oiler game nights during the playoffs, and there will be at least one more. All you can eat wings out at Long Shots, $25 a person. Check out Long Shots out here in Sherwood Park. As always, our show is brought to you by our amazing title sponsor, Sherwood Buick GMC. Last month, Sherwood Buick GMC awarded with the General Motors President's Club Award, which is given to the top 50 GM dealerships in Canada. So if you or anybody you know is in the market for a new or a used pre-owned vehicle, make sure you go check it out. 10 Auto Mall Road is the address. Great staff, great vehicles, high quality all the way around. www.gmcpod.com is the website address. Okay, Rob Brown will be joining us shortly. Jason Strudwick is standing by, as is Chris Sabunia. Zuby, if you get a chance.
We got Brownie too, just so you know.
We got Brownie too. Sorry, Zuby, same thing that was happening last night. My monitor is only showing the logo lockup, so I'm not sure if you can swap that for us or not, if that makes a difference.
Let's see.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect, buddy. Thank you. Brownie, how are we doing, pal?
Well, I'm like everyone else in Edmonton tonight. I am happy and excited.
Happy and excited. Yeah, that was it was nervous energy, man. Last night on the podcast, it was nervous energy in the building. I think the players had some nervous energy to start. So let's break this thing down. But just quickly, Struds, a thought on kind of the magnitude of Game 7s. I know you didn't play any in your Stanley Cup career or in your NHL career, Struds, but you had some big ones in junior. What's your guys' Game 7 experience, would you say?
Yeah, I never did in the NHL, but just in junior, I think the biggest thing is just to keep your window or picture small. Just worry about going through the same process you do every time leading up to any game. The way you prepare, the way you think, and then just shift by shift, period by period. Don't think about the outcome because it's so huge. It's such a huge thing. There's so much attention. There's no other NHL games going on. All the other news already been done. We already know Craig Berry's the coach of the Leafs. There's nothing else going. Everyone in the hockey will be watching that game, so you can't get too far ahead of yourself and worry about that.
Well, for me, I've been in a few. To me, the Oilers' Game 7 on Monday is not any different than Game 6 tonight for the Oilers. They were facing elimination tonight, so it doesn't change. It gets a little bit bigger, the game for the Vancouver Canucks, because they're all of a sudden facing elimination. For the Oilers, it doesn't change at all. To me, these next 48 hours are the tough times when you have all this time to sit and think about it, sit and think about the importance of the game. Game 7's make and break guys' careers. All of a sudden, you have a breakout year, a Holloway or a McLeod, or someone has something special that night. People remember that. But once the game starts, once the puck stopped or dropped, I mean, it's no longer Game 7. It's just another hockey game. So it's the lead up to the game, which to me is the most stressful. But once the game begins, it's just hockey. It is 100% more stressful watching a Game 7 than it is playing. When you're playing a game, you can have some make a difference in the outcome. When you're watching, it's just stress. So once the game starts, these players, it won't be any different to these players.
It's going to be a blast. I'll be there covering it, and then we will crush a show as soon as it is done. But for now, let's dig into what we saw in game number 6, guys. Our breakdown brought to you by Adrenaline Diesel, Edmonton's heavy-duty diesel truck repair shop, specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck and trailer repair, performance, tuning, parts, sales in Edmonton with 7 bays and a vast dealer network. Their highly reviewed customer support team and professional diesel mechanics ready to assist you with all of your needs. They are massive Oiler fans over there. They are celebrating tonight over at Adrenaline Diesel. AdrenalineDiesel.ca is the website. Okay. Where to start? I don't know, Struds. I'm going to lob this one up for you, buddy. I'm just going to kind of lob it up for you. There's some nights I try and guide you down the path. But tonight I'm going to lob it up for you and say, what was your headline? What happened tonight? What was the main takeaway here, bud?
You know what? I don't know if I had one. I had multiple things that I really liked about this game. And right now, the one in my head is about Carrick coming in. I think he was a great addition. And the way he played tonight is a vision I believe that the Oilers, their fans, and us here thought he should have brought. A physicality, a hard worker, looking guys in the eye after hitting them, all that kind of stuff. I really liked his game tonight. And, I don't think it was easy to take Perry out of the lineup, considering what he's done in his career. But it was the right choice, and I believe it had an impact in the game, guys.
Where do you go, Brownie? What's your headline, bud? He goes with the depth player throwing hits.
Well, I mean, Carrick was excellent in the game. That was good for him and the Oilers. But to me, it's Fab 5 fantastic. The Oilers' best 5 players were not good in game 5 in Vancouver. The Canucks' star players were better. Tonight, Leon and Connor and Bouchard and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins, they were dominant. They were the difference in this hockey game. So the Fab 5 for the Edmonton Oilers, fantastic in this hockey game. And we can talk about depth players. We can talk about third lines, even goaltending. But at the end of the night, if the Oilers' best 5 players have games that they're capable of having, they're going to win most hockey games. They win and lose based on what their best 5 players do. And tonight, their best 5 players were excellent.
Okay, I like both of those points, and I think they both matter. I'm going to split the difference, and then we'll discuss it all. I'm going to go with Dylan Holloway, guys. I thought it was a bit of a tentative start, kind of nervous. I know you're shocked. Kind of a nervous start from both sides, and I just thought it was a fantastic play. Great wheels. There are some players on that bench that I hope paid close attention to Dylan Holloway grabbing that puck and taking it hard to the middle of the ice, Struds, and making a skill play and scoring a big goal. But I thought after a bit of I don't know what word you would use to describe the start of that game, but there's only 4 shots, for goodness sakes, for either side in the early going there. But I think that was much needed in a big moment from Dylan Holloway.
Well, we set it up for you nicely, to bring it in, to talk about Dylan Holloway and your 100 rookie cards you got of him. The value ticked up 4% today.
I think the listeners would be agreeing with me, gentlemen. This is not me. There's no playing favorites here, guys.
No, and I agree. I think that you're 100% right. A great pass by Leon, but what Dylan did is he just made it the game easy. And not that he beat easy players or bad players, but got the pucks, decided he's going to take it hard to the net, and he did. He skated around some guys. Like, he looked really good. And, I think I made the point, I think it was last pod, that I'm starting to see more frequently what he is or what he can be or should be for this team moving forward. So I think it was a great way of saying, I think he did unlock it, and maybe some guys settled in a little bit after that play goal.
Well, you know what it is, Shaugger, what Dylan Holloway has now, as opposed to earlier in the season or last year, confidence. That was a confident play. That was a guy, he was going 100 miles an hour. He was forcing Leon to pass it to him. He's saying, I'm not waiting, Leon, for you to bring the puck up. Give me the puck now. I got speed. He out-battled Pettersson on the board, the $11 million player. He turned inside Quinn Hughes, who's going to win the Norris. He then beat Hronek to the net, who I believe was plus 40 on the season. And then he went 5-hole on a goalie that has absolutely owned the Oilers in this series. That was a confident play by a talented young player. And what Dylan Holloway has given the Oilers is the ability to split up Connor and Leon because they now have 6 forwards they can play in their top 6. Dylan Holloway has been excellent since he's been recalled. He's been excellent because he has confidence, and that is a good thing for the Oilers going forward.
Yeah, I just think it's really good they have him in their lineup.
He's playing in top 6. If he would have been on the 4th line, it would have been a waste. He's in their top 6. We're 100% behind you on that, Shaugger.
Okay, so all right, I'll beat my chest on that one a little bit, but then I'm going to take my medicine on this next one, and we're gonna break down the game of the big guys in a little bit more detail. We absolutely have to do that, but full credit to Stuart Skinner, full credit to Chris Knobloch. I don't think that was an easy call to make. I'm not sure which call would have been harder for him to make. I think either one was difficult, but he decides to go back to Stuart Skinner, who you could argue hadn't been as good in any of his games as Pickard was in both. And I think it was a gutsy call, and Skinner did his job. Wasn't an overly difficult night, but Struds made the saves he had to, made a few tough ones, really, really steady, didn't let in the bad one. I mean, that's a good call by that coach. You got to give him credit.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I will say, I don't think it would have mattered tonight which goalie was in net. And that's very disrespectful to Stuart Skinner. And that's not my intention, but I think the Oilers played a pretty good game in front of them, especially after the first period. I didn't think Canucks had their best tonight. It's funny, if we just flip-flopped what we said about the Oilers last game and just inserted the Vancouver Canucks players' names in there, that's basically a podcast they could ship off to Vancouver and listen to the same thing. Because, they're big guys. Miller just got, owned by McDavid tonight. And that hasn't, we talked about that the other night, haven't happened, right? And just that's the same story. So, who's going to show up in game 7 and who's going to be able to control play and do things. But I think it's really important, guys, to note, I know you didn't ask this question, but Holloway and Kane both scored. And I think that makes a big difference because that gives Leon confidence in his wingers. But to answer your question, I don't think the goalie really mattered tonight. And that is extremely very disrespectful. And I don't mean that to saying that to Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does matter, Shaugger, in this game. It's funny. There's been a lot of talk. Skinner struggled in this series, and he has. And it's been the coming out story for Sheilov from the Vancouver Canucks.
Mm-hmm.
But after tonight's game, where is the confidence level between the two goalies? I mean, Skinner, not tested a lot, but did get tested late. He's going into game 7 feeling pretty good about himself. Came in, got a win, gave up 1 goal, made a couple saves he needed to, and Sheilov gave up 5 and got beat from distance a couple times. So 24 hours ago, when we're all discussing goaltending, going into game 6, the advantage would have been the Vancouver Canucks with Sheilov in net. Going into game 7, now there's Sheilov. I mean, he got beat a couple times. How's his confidence level? And Skinner's riding high on a 1-goal against game. So quickly in an NHL hockey series, things can change. But yes, I think Skinner. I agree with Struds. I think if Pickard plays, they win still. But it is a good night for Stuart Skinner, a confidence-building night for Stuart Skinner. And going into game 7, we had a couple callers on our show. I'm not sure about Skinner. He looked shaky. Skinner did not look shaky tonight. Skinner was calm. He was cool. He made the saves he had to. Had no chance on the one he gave up. And good for Stuart Skinner coming in a tough situation and giving that kind of effort.
Go ahead, Struds.
The second and third goal given up on Sheilov's, those were weak goals.
Yeah.
I really believe that. The Hyman puck hits him. He needs to save that. The distance run from Bouchard, that one, I think it's a good shot, but he should be able to save that, right? The Kane one, I'm not going to get too worked up about. And then the Nuge, I think the D can do a better job. But we've been thinking, I said it earlier, like he's stopping pucks, but I feel like he's getting lucky. Tonight, he didn't make the save, so was he unlucky? Or is that what he is, or what's going on? So I do think that the Oilers have to, get at him early in game 7, early, and make him think about where he's at and what he's doing right now, because I don't think he's confident. Well said.
No question. I will. And again, I'm not a goaltending expert, but Brownie, I'll disagree with you a little bit in that I do think that Skinner had some shaky looks. And I believe the broadcast might have even pointed some of that out. We couldn't hear, but I think they showed a little bit of it. But I thought he was, but he got settled in, right? And the team in front of him did a good job, not, forcing him to face a bunch of really tough stuff. he got bumped a little bit there too. And I think, that always maybe jars a goalie a little bit. And then he was sharp. So, but I think the rest of the team was like that too. I didn't think that they were super on their game in the early going, and they eventually got her going. Okay, let's talk about the big guns. We have to. McDavid had 1 assist in his last 3 games. Zach Hyman had 0s across the board in his last 3 games. Guys, I think both these players are dealing with something. I think they're each dealing with their own injury of some sort right now. I don't believe either of them is in the vicinity of being 100%. I think they're grinding it out with what they can. And Brownie, both guys, whatever they're going through, found a way to manufacture offense through it tonight, even though I don't think they're close to 100%.
Well, I wish that I at 100% could be like they are at 60% because they look pretty good tonight. But yeah, I mean, you knew that McDavid was going to have a breakout game. I don't care if he's hurt, not hurt. He's the best in the world. And at some point, things were going to go his way. And he was excellent in this game. He took charge. The difference in this game to me was in the second period, back-to-back shifts where McDavid took charge. He set Hyman up for a grade A scoring chance. Great save by Sheilov. So what did McDavid do? He hunted the puck down again and got it back to Hyman for a second opportunity. And then the next shift, he was out there, hunted the puck all over the offensive zone, gets it to Bouchard. McDavid was not going to be denied tonight. And Hyman, you could see the relief when he scored. It's kind of funny. A guy that's got 10 goals in the playoffs shows relief when he scores a goal in Game 11. So the Oilers go as far as their best players. I don't care about goaltending, defense, anything else. They're only going to go as far as their best players. And tonight, their best players were excellent. And they had 2 goals from the Leon line. They get a couple goals from the McDavid line. Now, all of a sudden, the Vancouver Canucks are like, whoa, okay, now both lines are rolling. It's one thing when one of them is, but when both are, it just poses these big problems because now you're forcing both the Miller line and the Lindholm line with Pettersson on it now to play defense. Who else is going to score for the Vancouver Canucks? And I think that was the problem tonight. The Vancouver Canucks' best players were stuck in their own zone the entire game.
Power play. Got to talk about it. That's 2 games in a row, no goals. And man, that was a huge opportunity. They didn't get it done, the 5-on-3. And, luckily their penalty kill came to get it done, but they've got to sort that out. That they're going to, I don't believe they can win a Game 7 without scoring a power play goal, guys.
So Struds, I think their power play looked a lot better tonight than it did last game, to be honest with you. I thought that they were on it. I thought they had better looks. I agree they didn't score, and bottom line, you got to score. But I don't know, Brownie, was it just me? I thought they had a couple of new wrinkles. Did you see that play McDavid made where he made the behind-the-back pass to Nugent Hopkins, and had he actually been there, would have had a great scoring chance? I saw a couple of wrinkles, and I thought they were way better on their pursuits. I think it was a step forward quality-wise if they didn't score. Brownie, you?
I agree, and it's funny. That was fun, the play that McDavid – I mean, they're so talented that here they are in game, what is this, 93 on the season. They're throwing new things into their PP. That's how good they are. Most teams do not change anything. But look at between the 2 power plays. You want to look at a power play that's getting nothing going? Look at the Canucks. I mean, the Oilers had a chance to extend the lead. They could extend the lead and finish the game in the second period. The Canucks had a chance to get back in this game, a game they did not belong in. They score 1 on the power play on the 5-on-3. It's a 3-2 game going into the third, and they're still on the power play, and they got no looks. Nuge won 2 huge faceoffs. They iced it twice. The only shots the Canucks got on their 5-on-3 were from the point. That's exactly what the killers want. So yeah, I thought the Oilers' power play was more dangerous. Even when they didn't score tonight, they looked like they were creating. And when you're creating and getting chances, eventually those are going to go in. And I disagree with Struds a bit. The Oilers can win Game 7 without a power play goal. They can. It makes it much easier if they score on the power play. But I believe that the Game 7 is going to be a low-scoring affair, and I think they've got enough offense to do it. And the way they played defensively tonight and the way they're penalty killing, they completely limited the number of chances Vancouver got. But their power play, to me, I agree, Shaugger, it looked way more effective tonight. They just were unable to find the puck to get in the back of the net.
Boy, you guys must just be living under the rainbow. Hey, feeling good about everything's okay. No problem. The thing that got them through the whole regular season is it's not a big deal. It's a problem. It's a problem, guys. Because I tell you, when you go back to Vancouver, guess who has a little more jump in their steps? Old Vancouver Canucks. They'll be flying all over the ice. So anything kind of decent stuff they had going on tonight will be non-existent in Vancouver. The Vancouver was not even, 70% as aggressive on the PK as they had been in Vancouver. And I expect them to come out and go hard because Rick Tuck will get them going. So I don't think I needed to see a goal tonight to have some belief in it in Vancouver, guys.
So you have no belief in the Edmonton Oilers power play that is clicking at about 40% in the playoffs, that is the best in the National Hockey League over the last 5 years, that has the two best players in the world on it, has the top three scorers in the playoffs on it. You've got no belief in them right now.
They're currently 0-4-8 in the last two games, so this is a small window.
To me,
this is a streak.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Struts, because they're 0-for-8. This is a 40% power play. That means odds say they're going to score in their next power play. I've got no concern, none concern about the Edmonton Oilers power play. None.
But see, I disagree because there's it's going to be a lot harder there. It's going to be nerves. There'll probably be less power play opportunities. And
Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl do not have nerves. Connor and Leon have no nerves. They're not nervous about anything. They are fully confident. Their power play is not an issue at all.
It is right now. It's 0-for-8. You can't say it is an issue.
It's not an issue. You win 5-1, your power play. You win 5-1, your power play is not an issue. They know it's got an issue. The Vancouver Canucks power play is an issue. The Canucks have issues with their power play.
We're talking about the Oilers.
I just said
right
that.
now, it's 0-for-8. It's 0-for-8 in the last two games.
Yeah, that's
short-term
good.
issue.
They didn't need it. No problem at all. Shaugger, I'm saying right now, there's absolutely zero concern.
Monday night, I'm not sitting here saying, look, I was right. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to come back and play.
Nope.
Brownie, you want me to let this piece of shit caller go?
Because he's right. That's the problem.
You don't even talk that angrily to the callers on your show with Reed. I like it. The boys are getting feisty.
I get paid to be nice to them. I get paid to be nice to the callers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to break the tie, but what I'm going to say is, Struds, I completely agree that the power play needs to click in Game 7. I think there will be a moment, and it's going to be a tight game where that power play has a chance. I'm not saying they won't win without it. I won't go that far, but they're going to have a look and they're going to have a moment, and they're going to need something from them in that next game. I do believe that. I think it's important, but I think you guys are saying the same thing, and it's a heck of a good power play. They need timely production now, right? Over the long haul, the stats, the aggregate, the percentages need time scoring now from their power play in Game 7. Would you agree with that, Brownie?
Oh, 100%. But he's got concern about it. I got zero concern about the Oilers power play. But if they need a big goal at a big moment, would you have said the same thing
coming into tonight's game? Would you have said that same thing before tonight's game? You
had 100%.
Concern?
I got zero concern. They had a bad night in Vancouver. This is the best power play in the league over the last 5 years. There's going to be nights where it doesn't go in. Tonight they were dangerous.
What happens if that's Game 7?
Pardon?
What happens if that's Game 7, one of those nights where it doesn't go in?
I mean, if it happens, it happens. But you say, is there a concern? No. There's zero concern for me about the Oilers' power play. It's the best power play in the league. Whether the puck goes in or not in Game 7, they are going to get a ton of great opportunities. They're going to get great looks. Sometimes a puck hits a post, the goalie makes a great save, a stick deflects something at the last moment. But as for the power play creating good opportunities, I got zero concern with when the two best players in the world are on the power play. Zero.
I just pulled out my stat sheet. I don't see where great looks are on there. Where is that? Is that before or after hits and block shots?
Rick Spangler says, boys, Brownie's going to drive through his garage door. Settle down, big boy. Leaky37 says, Brownie loses. Chris R says 3 for 14 in the series. I don't have it in front of me. Is that that's what the number is? Mike Smith says Brownie sounding as angry as Shaugger was last game. LOL. Swanee9 says they've said it for how long now? It's not how many, it's when they score. Let's see what they can do. Brownie, how could you say 0? Should be at least 1.8% concern, at least. And then Chris R agrees with Struddy and says, when do they hand out the Great Looks Trophy? So we're split on the stream. Healthy debate, guys. Healthy debate. So what we're all going to be able to agree on the penalty kill and how good it was. We're going to save that for the next segment. We'll get some player sound in the next segment as well. We'll dig into a couple of other things, some other performances. For now, let's get to our You Can Use Services Relentless Player of the Game. If you're looking to hire entry-level staff for your company, You Can Use Services trains youth in pre-employment skills to help get them ready, willing, and able to join your team. Check out www.ucan.ca for more information. Jason Strudwick, what are we going with, buds?
I'm going to Sam Carrick. He comes in, delivers 6 or 7 hits. Hadn't played in a long time, won a lot of faceoffs, and he was noticeable in his time played. So I'm going with
interesting
Sam Carrick. What I love about him too is he looked people in the eyes. He'd go in there. He was looking at the big D men in the eyes. I give it to Carrick. Someone else you would have given it to?
Well, Nugent Hopkins ended up with 3 points, a goal and 2 assists, some pretty good penalty kill time.
Yeah.
So I think he'd have been a candidate. Evander Kane could have been a candidate too. 7 hits he had, plus a big important goal. Brownie, what do you think? You'd have given it to what? The Oilers power play?
Oh, ouch.
You can't hurt my feelings. You can't.
I'm not sure.
Sticks and stones service. I would have gone with RNH, and it was not. I thought that was his best game of the series, and in the most important part of the hockey game, when the Oilers were down 5-3, he won 2 huge faceoffs.
Yeah,
and that killed a lot of the time on the power play. RNH was excellent in this hockey game.
All right, that was our You Can Use Services Relentless Player of the Night. When we come back, the arguing will continue. And we'll dig into what we saw on the penalty kill and hear from some of the players as well. Quick break. Tons still to come. The fastest growing male grooming company on the planet just got even better. Backscape 2.0 with a revolutionary friction fit handle makes the razor easy to pop in and out to shave not only your back, but anywhere on your body. And those hard-to-reach spots just got even easier with the new ergonomic design. Backscape's new titanium shave head makes for a smoother, more comfortable shave that respects your skin. Backscape 2.0. Stay smooth, gentlemen.
On paper, my life looks exciting.
In reality, not so much.
Every day it's same old, same old.
Clock in, clock out.
Then I discovered Play Alberta. I can play casino games anytime.
Bet on any game.
And buy lottery tickets anywhere in Alberta. I think my spleen is ruptured.
Time to get to our takeaways, brought to you by Martin Motorsports, your one-stop shop for all the toys for your next outdoor adventure. Quads, side-by-sides, boats, Sea-Doos. Oh yeah, check out this showroom. It is off the charts. They're packed full of machines, boats, and accessories. Head on over to Martin Motorsports so you're ready for your next weekend adventure. It's just a giant warehouse filled with stupid fun. Visit them at their 2 Edmonton locations on the west and the south side. Man, look at all that stuff. Good summer fun in there, guys. Let's talk about the
Before we get to the segment, there's just there's some concern for Struds on the chat. Everyone wants to make sure he's not being held against his will anywhere.
Yeah, there is a bit of an interrogation style look he's got going. Like, Struddy, blink 3 times if your hands are cuffed.
No, I'm out of town, and so I'm trying to find a quiet spot to do it. And I'm in a hotel, and this
You're in a closet?
The best I could do. No, it's not. It is, but it's not that easy. I have So this is the best spot I could find.
So you're spawing it, right? Am I correct? Did you get the facial done today?
No,
did you get your nails done? Did you?
I don't do that. Hardened. They don't require that kind of maintenance. I went for a hike, kept the buns tight.
Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about the penalty kill. I mean, anytime you can kill a 5-on-3, that's something else. I think special appreciation for Vinny Desharnais tonight where the penalty kill is concerned, though, Brownie. I thought that there was the one sequence, can't remember if it was on the 5-on-3, where he kind of like dummied a guy, shoved him out of the way, and then swatted the puck down the ice. Just powerful, really quality penalty killing from Vinny Desharnais.
He's been excellent, and the penalty killing is they're not giving the Canucks access to their end. Like every time the Canucks come up, they get to the blue line and they get stuck there, and they're forcing them to make bad plays, and then they shoot it down, and it's frustrating. And it bleeds, and we've talked about it before, when your power play, which is all your best players, struggles, it bleeds into the rest of your game. It bleeds into your 5-on-5 game, and it certainly did tonight for the Vancouver Canucks. They had a great chance to get back in this game on the 5-on-3. They lose 2 face-offs. They chase the puck down. Every time they were 5-on-4, they couldn't get the puck across the line. Desharnais has been excellent. Janmark, Ryan, Nugent Hopkins, like they've all been very, very good, and they're taking pride in it. And specialty teams wins and loses you hockey games. And I know the power play didn't score tonight, but to me, the biggest moment in this game that sealed the victory was the 5-on-3 against, where the Canucks got really nothing going. Their only shots were from the blue line. So credit to where credit is due. The Oilers penalty killing unit, again, and we said this a ton. We said it during the 16-game winning streak, and we've said it here in this playoffs. The penalty killing has won the Edmonton Oilers hockey games, and tonight they went a long way to winning this one.
Yeah, you nailed it, buddy. And he led the team in penalty killing ice time, Vinny. It was great. But what I loved his penalty kill. What I loved almost more than that, and that's pretty incredible, is that when there was a scrum with Kane and Zadorov, Vinny went in there and grabbed 2 guys. He didn't grab one. Like he's starting to be a bit of a bully in this series because we've seen that from Dakota Joshua at times, Zadorov. Soucy's not really that guy, but we know you see, and he just went in there and grabbed 2 guys and he had that little Oman in a headlock for about 30, 40 seconds. And I love that. Like, I'm the boss. You just sit there and it just puts people in their place. And I think that does have an impact on the game. I thought actually the ref kind of took the soft way out and gave all 4 players a 10 minute just to get them out of the game. I didn't like that, but I understand why he did that. But Vinny, I love that move at the end of the game.
Let's get to the Weiss Johnson sound box. With seasons changing, now's a good time to get your air conditioner scheduled in for service before the heat hits, or your ducts clean before you fire up your AC and blow all that dust throughout your entire house. Check them out at weiss-johnson.com for all of your home comfort needs. Jingle. Nice. I think we have Vinny Desharnais, don't we, Zuby, on the 5-on-3 kill?
We do. Yep. Here it is.
I think the big part of that 5-on-3 was Skinner. I think he was solid. Every save he made on that 5-on-3, he made them look pretty easy. And I think starting with a huge face-off by Nuge was great for us. Ekholm's got so much experience. He's so good defensively, and his stick is great. So it was a big kill for us.
Yeah, that was a big moment in the game for sure. Remember how dominant that penalty kill was in the first round and what a series swing that was in the Oilers' favor. I know their penalty kill was also working, but it definitely helps, Struds, when your power play goes over, when your penalty kill does that.
It does, because there's an opportunity there for the Oilers to take control. They were not able to because their power play didn't come through. We'll see what happens in Game 7, and then obviously then they move on and they get the chance. So it was a big moment there. That's a pretty big moment in the game, for probably the most significant actually for both teams in that moment, to capitalize and kind of take either get back in the game or take complete control of it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hear from Dylan Holloway about his goal. Back to the Weiss Johnson soundbox.
I think that they were kind of cheating, thinking that Leo was going to pick up the puck, and he did. And I was able to kind of gain some speed. He made a nice play to me, and then kind of caught their D flat-footed there. So I was happy for that one to go in, and yeah, felt pretty good.
So on Holloway, after trade deadline, when he was sent down, I was with the team on the road, and I saw him having a chat with Evander Kane. And Holloway had just found out he was going down. And I asked him about that chat tonight. He said, yeah, he was just telling me, to keep my head up, keep my spirits up, that I would be back, I'd have a chance. And so he comes back up and earns his way into the playoff lineup, earns his way into the top 6, and now he finds himself on Evander Kane's line. Guys, I'm not sure if the broadcast showed it or not, but right after Dylan Holloway scored, he's just vibrating, and he goes through the handshake line with everybody. And did you guys see what Evander Kane did? How Evander Kane he got his attention and he was like, hey, like, okay, keep it. We need to keep it going now. And he kind of gave him that hand motion. Like, now we got to keep it going because they were staying out on the ice. So it was just kind of like the veteran Kane kind of looking at the kid going, yeah, good moments, but we have to keep it going here, Struds.
And I love that from Vander King. Like, he's got to provide that for Dylan, because you can get a little excited or exuberant and kind of go out and take a bad penalty or whatever. So I love that just to bring everybody down. And that's, you saw Miller do it to Dakota Joshua as well, and he didn't get the puck deep. Like, those little plays, those little details matter in the game, because if they slip, the other team will capitalize.
No, you need veteran presence, and the reason you have veteran presence with young players is it helps teach them, help them along, move them forward. Here's what you need to do. This was a big moment for you, but there's going to be another big moment coming up here. Be ready for it. So that line was excellent tonight, and the Oilers right now have two very good offensive lines going forward, which they're going to need in Vancouver, because Vancouver, you're going to see a lot of Connor McDavid against Miller, so they're going to certainly need something out of the second line, and the second line tonight was excellent.
Let's hear from the captain, Connor McDavid, looking ahead to game number 7.
Nothing to be satisfied or excited about. I mean, it's like you said, we just bought ourselves another day, and I would expect the same level of urgency and desperation from our group. I would expect Vancouver to play a better game as well, and I would expect it to be a highly competitive, great Game 7.
Gabriella C says, are the Oilers skating tomorrow? No, they're not, Gabriella. They're just going to catch a flight and do a media availability in Vancouver once they get there. Very unusual, guys, that the Oilers did not skate yesterday, and the Oilers big minute guys did not skate today either. They went 2 full days without being on the ice at all. So they would have skated off the ice after game 5 and not gotten back on the ice until warm up for game 6. And just to put it into context, they never do that. During the regular season, you would never have guys go 2 full days before getting back out on the ice to flush the legs or to just get it going a little bit. The risk is that you start the game and you don't have your legs. They're heavy and you're not quite, because you've been sitting. But the benefit of that was they gave the guys extra rest. They even rearranged, I think, some of their meeting timing and such this morning to prioritize rest. My point here, Struds, I think this coach sensed that his team was gassed, and they structured the next couple of days in a way to try and remedy that a bit.
Yeah, they were gassed. I mean, you look at the game in game 5, they were tired. I thought they had a good first period. And then they just kind of, Vancouver just took over. So that can't happen in game 7. So at this point in time, I don't know if one more morning skate makes a difference. Every player kind of knows what you need. So I would highly suggest to my players, the big minute guys, I don't need to see you until game time on Monday night. You don't have to skate. If you want to come down and stretch and throw a couple arm curls in, that's fine. But they don't need to do anything more, because it's all about getting as much energy as you can directed toward game 7, Brownie.
Well, I've been when I was in Pittsburgh at the end of my career, in the playoffs, the practices were mainly the third and fourth line guys and the block aces. None of the star players ever practiced. They didn't practice between games. They didn't practice at morning skates. They more or less just came to games. So to me, that's not unusual, what the Oilers did here with missing 2 days of practice. When you're playing 25 minutes a night, you don't need a morning skate to flush your legs. You don't need a practice to flush your legs. These guys are the best shapes of their lives. So this is, to me, that's not weird at all. This is normal for star players. Just come to the game, be ready at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever time it is, and they always are.
Yeah. Respectfully, Brownie, though, I mean, I've covered this every playoff game and every playoff practice they've had, and it is not normal for them to go 2 full days like that without playing. So that's very unusual. So it tells me that they sensed that the group needed the extra rest, gave them that option, and be really interesting to see if they do that again, Struds, to your point, between now and the start of the next game. Struds, I would have thought you would have wanted them out there working on their power play, no?
Well, I don't think there's nothing you can do. I think, I don't want to get in an argument again, but honestly, no, I truly, I don't think I wouldn't have them do anything. I wouldn't. I mean, there's off-ice things you can do, the massages, all that kind of stuff. You can do a little workouts if you feel like you need to. Like, there are things you can do, and the guys know, what your body needs. If by this game you're not sure how you need to get ready, man, there's a serious problem. So I think they're ready to go.
And was it just me, Brownie? Like, they were more physical tonight, were they not? I mean, I think their hit total, I haven't even checked it, but I feel like they were. Yeah, they were 49 hits tonight.
Yeah, they were the more physical team, which again is funny. We talked after game 5, who the Canucks were the more dominant team with the puck most of the night, yet they had more hits, which is hard to do. Tonight was the same thing for the Oilers. They were the better of the team. They had the puck most of the time, yet they had more hits. I think part of it, adding Carrick to the lineup instead of Perry. He's a physical player. And just right from the very first shift, I know that Leon took a penalty and probably shouldn't take that, but he was setting the tone. We're going to be physical. There was one where he chased down Soucy, and Soucy did everything possible to get out of the way because Leon had his eyes on his back, and he was going to run in through the boards. They came out with the thought, we're going to be the physical team tonight, and it showed. You didn't notice Zadorov tonight. You didn't notice Joshua tonight. You didn't notice Miller tonight. The physical players for the Vancouver Canucks weren't physical because the Oilers tonight were initiating, not the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we'll get to brownie points in just one sec. I'm going to nitpick for a second here, guys, and you can put me in my place because you know me. I fixate on little things and that don't matter.
No.
I know, right? I did not like the fact that they started Ryan McLeod and Derek Ryan and Warren Fogle in this game. I didn't like that. So the other guys start JT Miller, and the first signal you send to your group is, yeah, we don't want that matchup. No. And McDavid and Draisaitl both standing on the bench during the song. I don't want McDavid and Draisaitl on the bench during the song. I don't care what your matchup plan is. Start those guys. Put them out there. Don't send the signal that you're worried about anything. Just a little thing. I'm nitpicking. Brownie? And then they did it to start the second as well.
Well, what they're doing is they're setting up the second and third shifts where Connor and Leon are playing against players that aren't Miller. So they've got a big advantage. So I've got no problem with that. I don't know if I would have started that line. I probably would have started my fourth line because my fourth line is more physical. I would have started my fourth line. So dump the puck in and go and hit somebody. That's what I would have done. But I had no problem with Connor and Leon on the bench because now you know you're going to get Lindholm and then you're going to get Teddy Bluger. So you got huge advantages in the next two shifts.
I think I didn't mind it. I actually kind of like it. I would have played Draisaitl, started Draisaitl's line. Like tomorrow or Monday night, I start Draisaitl's line with two kind of nasty guys on the wings and then a nasty guy in the middle. That's what we send it out because you get the honor of setting the tone for our game.
Yeah. And actually Ryan McLeod did throw a hit at JT Miller, I think, on that first shift as well. So he tried to engage early. Still, I would say he's the least engaged of the entire. He and Connor Brown are the two least engaged of the group in terms of trying to push momentum through any sort of physicality at all. And I still think that needs to improve. But we'll see. We'll see if Game 7 can bring that out of them. All right, time to get to Brownie Points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. If you're looking for a snack to bring to the next watch party, look no further than Hamel's Beef Jerky. There's the music you know and love. They're locally owned here in Alberta. Shipping is so fast, you can satisfy the savory craving. 14 flavors to choose from, available in bison, turkey, and pork jerky, and prime Alberta beef. I think we saw some of that on the ice tonight, fellas. I don't think that was Hamel's meat on the ice, but there was some Alberta beef on the ice tonight for the entire month of May. £1.5, $55, free shipping as well, and they ship anywhere in Alberta. Hop on to albertajerky.com to order yours. Brownie?
Have you ever, before I start, have you guys ever seen the Oilers fans throw steaks on the ice before? Is that a new tradition? That's something
I feel like I've seen it before. I think I've seen it, Struds. Have you?
Someone said it was 20 years ago. They did it against Detroit. I don't know if that's true or not. I had that in a group chat. But I haven't personally seen it, no. But they are saying it has happened.
That was a good chunk, too. That looked like good, probably at least $25, $30 steak, hey? Yeah. Like they didn't throw crap on the ice. That was a good. That was a gooder.
Yeah.
Minimum.
That was the big one. Yeah.
That's a waste of a good steak. I think you throw the fake steak out there and you keep the real steak and have a barbecue this week. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to start. 49 brownie points.
Isn't that more expensive? Sorry, go ahead.
Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, am I allowed to go here? Can I have my moment? I get one moment to shine, and you're raining on it, Shaugger.
You're blowing it. You're blowing it already.
All right, 49 brownie points. The Edmonton Oilers out hitting the Vancouver Canucks. I had them at 49-39. This was a game that the Edmonton Oilers needed. They came out. They were the more physical team. They were the better team. Good on the Edmonton Oilers for their physicality tonight. I got 10 brownie points for Bouchard. He was 1 + 2 + 3 + 4. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, +4 for Evan Bouchard. He had his worst game of the playoffs in Game 5. He had a fantastic game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. So Evan Bouchard with 10 brownie points. 933 brownie points for Stuart Skinner. He had a .790 save percentage coming into this game in this series. He had a .933 save percentage in this game. He wasn't tested much. He made the saves he had to make good for Stuart Skinner. 6 brownie points for Sam Carrick. He came into this game from the press box. He has 6 hits, and I believe 58% in the face-off dot. That is the way to make yourself noticed in a hockey game. Good for Sam Carrick. And last but not least, 12 brownie points to the Fab Five. That's Connor, Leon, Nuge, Hyman, and Bouchard. 12 points for that group tonight. They were not good in Game 5 in Vancouver. The Vancouver Stars were the better in that night. Tonight, the Fab Five for the Edmonton Oilers were by far the best players on the ice, and 12 brownie points to those guys tonight.
And Braun Solo wants to add in, if he may be so bold, Brownie wants to get in on the action. Braun Solo here says 44 brownie points for Rob Brown for sticking up for the power play.
Damn right. You know what? I'm going to split my $10 for brownie points with that gentleman tonight. 100%.
I give you a raise that I'm unaware of? Studs, any issues with brownie points other than the power play stuff?
No, I like it. No, I think it's all very accurate, except the power play stuff. But I think Carrick, honestly, guys, he just gives some gusto to that group, and I would have hated to have to tell Corey Perry's not playing, but Carrick went in there and he's proved his spot. So I think next game the lineup stays the same. You know, we heard Rick Tocchet say there's no chance of Demko being out there, and I can't imagine they'd even play him anyways if he was healthy. And then Henrique, I can't see him going in either. So for sure the same lineup for the Oilers and the Canucks. I'm not sure they change anything, but that'll be what they look like.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't start. Struds, were you at the game tonight, or were you at home? Oh no, you're in Kananaskis. So I don't know if they showed it on TV, but at the end of the game, Carrick skated around after Susie, and that's another thing that Carrick comes out of the press box. He was up in the stands. He watched when Connor got cross-checked across the face, and Carrick went after, just got in his face, kept circling around. The linesman had to get involved. Carrick was brought in here at the trade deadline for abrasiveness. He's a sandpaper type of player. And there have been some players in the bottom 6 that haven't given enough of that kind of game through 5 games, through 6 games. Carrick came in and he did. I thought he was a difference maker in whatever I think he played 10.5 minutes tonight. I thought it was a quality 10.5 minutes.
That's why he got the Kyle Dubé Award, Relentless Player of the Night, as handed out by Struddy. Brownie, we're going to let you go, pal. Thank you kindly, and we will chat again probably after Game 7. I don't think we're going to drop a pod tomorrow. Travel day for me, and we got to give Zuby a break. So we'll drop a pod after Game 7. We'll talk to you then, buddy.
Long travel day.
Sounds good, buddy. Take care.
All the way to Vancouver. Okay. Are you taking a steamship? You're acting like you're traveling all around the world here.
Oh no!
It's an hour flight or an hour and 20 minutes. Like,
I've earned this. Keep going, Struddy. Keep going. I earned it.
Like every text I got a early travel day. Oh, what time? Oh, 9:30. Is that AM?
I've earned this. This is my fault.
Dallas. I can't wait to hear Dallas. How that's going to just destroy your life.
Yeah, very good. Well played, sir. I absolutely face planted right into that. Okay, Zumi, we got one more break.
Goodbye.
We got one more break.
Yeah,
right?
one more.
I'm gonna go quickly pack because I got early morning. I don't have time, so I'm gonna pack during this break, and then Struddy's World is coming up. We're getting punchy here. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has been delivering a high-quality golf experience to Edmonton and area. This beautiful private club, located on Highway 21 just south of Sherwood Park, occupies 160 acres and presents a challenging yet adventurous 18-hole design. A beautiful clubhouse, fully stocked pro shop, and warm, friendly staff truly make it feel like you belong to something unique and special. Visit www.belvederegcc.com.
The Brindley family has made it their mission to create the best tasting flavored rums on the planet, and they've knocked it out of the park with their Shipwreck rums. Brewed off the small Caribbean island of St. Kitts, their spiced rum is aged 4 years in bourbon barrels and infused with natural vanilla. Their Shipwreck vanilla is blended with natural Madagascar vanilla, giving it incredible smoothness. One sip and you'll agree, it truly is a vacation in a bottle. Available at your local liquor retailer. Please enjoy responsibly. When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here, someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
Huge thank you to everybody joining us on the live stream. Spectacular numbers tonight. Do us a favor and hit the thumbs up button if you get a chance. Apparently that helps us. More people will find us here on Got Your Back. We'll keep growing the show, growing the community. We're having an absolute blast, and we love all of you for hanging in late at night here with us. These post-game live shows are an absolute blast this season. Time for Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. They have locations in Calgary and Edmonton. So if you are a contracting business or a contractor, let DLR help you add vinyl fence to what you can offer your customers. Reliable, unmatched service, high-quality North American-made products. Visit dlrvinylproducts.ca. Oh, Struddy. Brownie laid a beating on you, and you totally just took it out on me.
Did not lay a beating on me. He knows I was right. That's why
he took a whipping.
You can tell when he gets mad that he knows I'm right. It's just like my wife. I have two wives, and you, a second husband, traveling all over the world.
There you go.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm not happy. I haven't been this upset about something since my commish screwed up our fantasy football league. You know, what is goalie interference? Does anyone truly know what it is? Because I truly don't know. We've seen it repeatedly over the playoffs. Times where a player was knocked on top of the goalie and then a guy banged a goal in. No, that's okay. That's no problem. Then he flashed forward to tonight. And this may sound like a bit like a homer thing, but I felt that Connor McDavid was pushed into the goalie's area, and then Sheloff goes flying and he seeks out the contact. I get it. It's like he's taking a 3-point in the NBA. He used to go in there and get the knock. And then he goes flying backwards. Like it would be the best dive I've seen since LeBron James when he entered the NBA. It is just a crime. You cannot do anything around that area. I think it's time, honestly, just to say that no one can go inside the blue paint. Go back to that old one. Yeah. We saw that with Brett Hall. That really worked really well when they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah. I truly don't know. I don't know what it is. I do not understand. I don't know what it is. And if I don't know it, I consider myself a semi-knowledgeable hockey person. Debatable. But that, like today, there's no way you can tell me that Connor initiated that contact. It was from a D-man and it's from a goalie. So we're letting that happen now. So D-men can push players into their own goalie, and now it's okay. Sorry guys, I really don't know where I'm going with this. I'm really just bitching about it. And I've said this about other ones, so this isn't the first time. I don't understand what is or isn't a goal, or what should be challenged or not.
Yeah, Zuby, you can chime in on this one too from the goaltender's perspective. Part of the issue, Struds, and I agree with you, the standard it seems to be all over the place. By the way, Chris Knobloch said after the game he saw the review last night and knew there was no chance he was going to be. So they're paying attention to everything that goes on. They're trying to keep a bead on the standard a little bit. The other thing is, and I believe that the broadcast showed this as well tonight, there's so much embellishment going on in this series and some diving around and some this and all that and everything. I think the referees are probably getting a little bit sick and tired of it too. So yeah, I think it's a fine line, but I don't know, Zuby, what did you make, man? You're the goalie in the goalie union.
Well, I thought Connor, he got pushed in a little bit. I wasn't sure about that one. I wasn't sure if they were going to get that on a review. I didn't like you know what? I learned a lesson. This is a true story. I took a dive one time intentionally. A guy bumped me. This is when I was like 18 playing junior C in St. Albert. And a guy bumped me and I took a dive to embellish it. And my elbow hit the ice through my padding and split my elbow open, and I got a stitch, and it was the one stitch I've ever got in my life. And I was like, you know what?
Stitch.
One stitch. Yeah. And I was like,
my God.
never again. But it was like the lesson learned. I'm never diving. I'm never doing that again, trying to get a call. And I never have in another 25 years of playing. So I didn't like Shilov's embellishment. I thought it probably they were not going to win the challenge, but the one last night was the one that was so crazy to me that Duchesne or whoever it was on top of the crease there, his skates were not in the blue paint. He didn't initiate the contact, and then someone even said that they said it from Toronto that like his butt touched, like his butt like interfered with the goalie. Yeah. But how do you have to judge that from the overhead view? Like, to me, if your skates are out, you should be good. The one last night was bananas in Colorado, even though the Dallas still got the goal. But I would just agree with you in the sense, Struds, that it's nuts. You have no idea. I agree with you. You have no idea what's interference and what's not, and then you have to risk that challenge and risk a penalty kill. Like, it's crazy.
That was Zuby's World.
Yes.
Brought to you by.
That's a lot to digest there. So Zuby, like, how many cc's of blood they have to give you so you didn't bleed out
for that
with
stitch?
The one. I didn't even know they did one stitch.
They wait. You know, so neither did I.
A point?
Don't
you need more than one for them to pull against each other?
I think because it was right on the. You know what, Struds? I blacked out while they were stretchering me off, so I'm not even sure. I just when I came to, I was in the hospital.
It was one stitch, but it was a big one.
Oh yeah, not the dissolvable kind. I had to go back to get it taken out.
Oh, goodness sakes. All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. I don't know what the lineup says, but we're not going to break yet. We're going to do our Taking a Lap segment before we go to break there, Zuby. So let's get to that. Time to take a lap, brought to you by our friends over at Backscape. I've had a few people reaching out to me wanting to know about the promo code. The promo code, yes, GYB10, gets you 10% off your first order. This is the Backscape 2.0. The shaver, the head pops in and out. They've kind of upgraded it from the first model. There you see it's super handy. And it works. This fella needed it, and it worked well for him. I've used it too. It's pretty cool. Works good. Friction fit handle lets you effortlessly snap that shaver in and out, and you can touch up the rest of your body with it too. There you go. I think that Stu Skinner doing his beard there. Go to backscape.com. You can use promo code GYB10 for 10% off your first order. That is Backscape. Please stay smooth, gentlemen. Struddy. You're on fire tonight, buddy. You're on fire. Where are we going?
Well, you guys are making it easy.
We are.
Rod Brindamore decides he's going to stay with Carolina. And I think importantly for him, he gets a 3-year extension. But more importantly for him is the fact that his assistants all get 2-year extensions and a 3rd-year option. He's a very loyal guy to his teammates. So I know we're all surprised he wasn't desperate to get to Toronto and work there like everyone else thinks they wanted to go. But he's staying put. And with a team that is going to have, I'm guessing, quite a few changes based on their UFAs they have in their lineup or had in their lineup at the end of the year, I think having that stability of their coach will help.
Did we hear a dollar figure on what he's getting paid?
I looked. I didn't see it. I'm not saying
Pierre LeBrun will have that in the next couple of days here.
But I'm guessing that, I mean, yeah. I think that, because I think at one point they were talking that they were trying to lowball him. And, Rod the Bot wasn't going for that.
Why 3 years, do you think? Like, should he not have?
Maybe that's what he wants to do. I don't know.
You think little increments like that? Like, I guarantee you the Leafs should have given him. I mean, well, I guess I can't guarantee.
Yeah, they gave Pruby 4, right? So he's one less. And
he could have got more than that somewhere else.
But they might have said, too, like, maybe they only want to sign him for 3 years. Like, he's been there a long time, and we know that there's a shelf life for coaches, even really good ones. So Maybe that was the compromise, right? We'll give you more money. I'm just guessing it. We'll give you more money if you take one last year.
I wonder if he ever really was willing to go. Like, I can't imagine. His whole life is rooted there. He's been there forever.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. My dad taught me that when I was young. When it comes to your career, negotiate hard, but don't bluff. Don't flat out bluff. Right. When it comes to matters of your career, don't bluff. And I wonder if it would have been a bluff from Brind'Amour that he actually would have been willing to leave at that point.
Yeah, but it all worked out well. And I mean, the program's pretty solid. They obviously haven't had the playoff success they want so far. But I think this offseason is going to be interesting. I think that's a team Toronto and Carolina are two teams I think you have to keep an eye on for the offseason. A team we're going to be able to watch in the playoffs has a Selke winner. Alexander Barkov wins it. He was a good year. And honestly, the biggest problem for Barkov is where he plays. He's a really, really good player. I mean, everyone talks about how good he is. That plays with him. You hear different people making those points. Does it all. Power play, penalty kill, face-offs. He is a beast, big body as well. So, yeah, congrats to him. But I still believe an underrated player, Shaugger.
Matthew Tkachuk, I think he called him the best player in the world, didn't he? He's the best player in the world right now, he said, like in terms of the way he's playing right now.
Sure.
But I think he indicated that he was. So he's got 13 points in their 11 playoff games. And he's a beast, man. He's a beast. He's one of those guys that I think, to your point, if he were in a Canadian market even in a few other markets, he would be much more appreciated game in, game out. We just don't see a lot of them.
No, you don't. And I don't think there's a lot of fans that are clamoring to go watch Carolina games, right? Okay, we got to get this up. Got to watch the Carolina Hurricanes play. It's not that. It's not that team.
JL says we got to change tonight's relentless player to Zuby after that story about the one stitch. So
I can't get over the one. I don't even mean to be respectful. I didn't know they did one stitch. Like that is.
If I may,
no, you may not.
I'm just remembering.
Absolutely may not.
I had a hole you could see into my elbow. So I'm sure someone said, you got to go to you got to go get that stitched. So it wasn't like I went there knowing it would be one stitch. I had a hole in my elbow, and then they're like, yeah, we got it. It took one stitch.
Oh, it must have been a gaping wound.
Leaky 37 says, maybe we'll see Barkov in the final. Imagine that travel. Ryan will need 2 days.
Well, he's taking a ship from Vancouver down through the Panama Canal up the other side of Florida, right? Like, tell my wife I love her. See her in a few months. Like, we're not going to war.
That was Taking a Lap, brought to you by Backscape. Oh, man. I'm getting tired, boys. It's coming off the rails here. Chris, we have one more quick break, right, buddy?
You betcha.
Okay, we have a very quick break. Then ask us anything, and our play of the night. But I think I know at least 2 of them so far. So stay with us. Quick break. Okay, heroes, are you trying to tough it out through a sports or life injury right now? Trying to prove your mettle by grinding through, gritting your teeth? Well, Redefined Health is here to say it's time to come on in. At Redefined Health, they'll high-five you for your toughness and then get to work on helping you fix the problem. Helping athletes and heroes find better balance, performance, and injury prevention. Visit redefinedhealth.com. Long Shots Golf is the destination for both golf enthusiasts and sports fans. Top-of-the-line TrackMan simulators provide a highly entertaining and accurate golf experience, while a full-service sports bar loaded with big screens and scratch kitchen make it a truly unique destination. They have locations in Sherwood Park and Edmonton. Experience the best indoor golf and sports bar in town. Visit longshots.ca. That's longshots with a Z.ca.
Spring is here, and if you're thinking of buying a new home during the housing market hot period, contacting a mortgage broker should be your first step. Maria Gallus with Maximo Mortgages can guide you with a stress-free experience. With access to dozens of different lenders, Maria's simplistic approach and expert advice will have you ready to put an offer in on your dream home. Take the stress out of your mortgage journey. Contact Maria Gallus at mortgagesbymaria.ca. That's mortgagesbymaria.ca.
Welcome back to Got Your Back, presented by our title sponsor, Sherwood Buick GMC. Shaugger, Struddy, and One Stitch along with you. How'd that feel, Struddy? Is that going to stick?
The One Stitch Warrior. I think you have to say the One Stitch Warrior.
The One Stitch Warrior.
Like he missed. He just told us off air. He missed 3 weeks with one stitch in his elbow.
How do you have 2 nicknames and Steve doesn't have any? He's still just Steve.
I think that's it. He seems like that's his fit.
Steve.
That's got to be
Guitar Steve. 6-string Steve. Time now for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by the Shark of the Park, Renee Buclan of Maxwell Devonshire Realty. She was voted the #1 individual agent 2 years in a row. That's a big deal. That doesn't happen. And it's because she's great at her job. When you see her commitment to providing clients with professional service, skilled negotiation, knowledge of Sherwood Park, Edmonton, and surrounding areas, highly recommend her. Doing some work for us right now, as I mentioned, and she's just so reliable. Call Renee, 780-994-0280. By the way, if you call her, tell her that we sent you. I don't think there's any discount codes for real estate agents, but if you let her know we sent you, we'd appreciate that. That helps us. Okay, One Stitch, hop back in here, bud, and let's see what the people are saying.
I'm here. What do we got here? Let's see. Where am I going to go first? The Kilted Zombie said, the amazing part of Kane's goal was we won the faceoff. I think that's a little bit of jest there, but that was a crazy, the Canucks barely even moved. That happened so quickly. You don't see faceoff plays actually executed that efficiently very often. And
yeah, got to win them draws.
Especially on your forehand. I think that was Leon on his forehand. It's a tough one to win.
Calvin C., in referring to the meat being thrown on the ice, said, on my budget, I would have thrown frozen burger patties.
Media meal tonight was burgers, actually. Media meal was burgers. Just a little piece of innocuous info for you there.
Nice. Davin pointing out also that for as good as Bouchard was, and obviously he contributed offensively and in the very loved plus-minus category, he also whiffed fanned on two on about a minute apart in the first period. His night could have been even better offensively had he connected there on either of those.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You look back at the last game, the play come around the net, that and he has the puck on his stick a lot. So unfortunately, some things will go sideways. Just like when Dylan Holloway skated around 2 really good D-men tonight for Vancouver. But I think he's getting to that point where you're like, okay, well, he's going to be able to get it back. He'll make it happen. He'll create something.
Jeff Cummings said, I hope you guys talk about this. Do you bring in Corey Perry for Game 7 playoff experience and sub out Connor Brown? Is there, do you think the lineup is going to be exactly the same? Lots of people have asked if Sam Carrick did enough to stay in it. You guys, it sounds like it, but what lineup changes do you think might happen for Game 7? None?
None.
If Henrik was healthy, he'd come in for Brown for me, for sure. Not even a question.
Yeah, that's fair if he's healthy. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's fair. Where would you play him, though, Struddy?
Well, probably.
God, just put him on that line. Let him play there.
I'd probably start him there. I mean, can't. Yeah, but because they're not disrupting the top 6. And then that third line, I'd have to give it a little more thought, but I'd probably start him there and then figure out after that. See how he looks. Take it that way. Let's go that way.
I like this one. Travis Farkerson says, this was supposed to be a battle between 2 top defensemen, but Bush has been head and shoulders better than Hughes. I would agree with that statement. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he's looked really good. The challenge, and I don't want to bring this up again, but I feel that as an undersized D-man, when things get heavy, it's just a little bit harder. Bouchard can roll off those hits. He can also be physical. You saw him have a massive battle with JT Miller. Because you see Quinn Hughes battling Leon Draisaitl in a similar fashion. So I do think the undersized part makes a difference. Now, that being said, he'll probably put up 4 points next game, but it is tough for the smaller player guys.
It doesn't come naturally to him, but he's doing it. Evan Bouchard is doing it. He engaged physically tonight, showed a little bit of nasty, gets in on those scrums. He's holding his ground, paging Ryan McLeod.
French Creek Farms asks, after the pressure of Skinner's first few games, would Skinner have a sports psychologist working with him in between games? Would that be part of the normal routine anyway?
Yeah, so they have the sports psychologist that worked with Kobe Bryant way back in the day. I'm trying to remember his name right now. I believe is it George Mumford, I want to say?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he's been with the team for a big chunk of the playoffs. So yes, he's there, and I believe he's accessible to the players. I'm not sure if Skinner works with him or not. But again, credit to Skinner. Went in tough circumstances after going out and played a real good game tonight. A couple more, Zuby.
Leaky37 says, Ryan, I'm not sure what this is in reference to, but he says, what did Knobloch say to Shaugger?
What did Knobloch say to me?
Yeah.
At the start of the press conference?
I guess so.
Okay. I'm going to say this, but listen, this was meant in the most lighthearted way, and it was taken in the most lighthearted way. And anybody who knows Cam Tate knows he would absolutely love the joke more than anybody else. And he absolutely did, because he was sitting right next to me. When Chris Knobloch came in, I was sitting next to Cam Tate in the press conference room, and I was doing up my tie. And Knobloch said to Cam, Cam, you can do that up for Ryan. And Cam started killing himself laughing. And what was so funny about that is when I was doing up my tie, Cam Tate goes, "Hey, Ryan." And if you haven't had a chance to meet Cam Tate, right? He's in a wheelchair and his language is slow. He said, "You want me to tie that for you?" So he had actually just offered to tie my tie for me. So him and I were killing ourselves laughing. And then Chris came in and said that too. So it was a lighthearted, super fun moment. There's a great relationship between Chris and Cam, so they can joke like that. But that's what it was. That was the backstory to that joke. It was all in good fun, all in great nature. And Cam had a great laugh. By the way, love having Cam Tate around the rink as much as he's been around the rink this year. It's been awesome, man. He's fantastic. And just really happy to get to watch some games and hang out with him a little bit.
Andy Pandy says, Holloway Kane dry will be key on Monday. 97 will bring his best game. What do you expect? What do you expect from Game 7? We're not gonna have a pod until looks like after Game 7 here. What do you guys expect in Game 7?
Way more energy from the Canucks. Like, they're gonna come out flying. Way more energy. So the Oilers have to match it. And, I thought it was either yesterday or Talk had said it, you can't be afraid. You have to go out and try to win it. You can't sit back. So I think that's going to be really, really important. And Sheloff's, I think he's been lucky. I do. I think, he's not that guy to play this well. So I think that tonight, maybe they just saw a little bit of a crack in it. They get to him early. I think it could unravel for him. So
that was a big crack. That was a major crack in the armor there for Sheloff tonight. A few goals that he definitely wouldn't have liked back. Okay, as we wrap up the pod tonight, let's get to our gem of the day, brought to you by Play Alberta. The playoffs are wild. We know it. And this year, Play Alberta is making it even wilder. Use the promo code GYB50, and that'll get you a $50 free sports bet with your next deposit. They've got unbeatable promos throughout the playoffs with 10-plus odd boosts on every Oiler game. And score a chance to win a pair of lower bowl or even exclusive suite tickets just by making a bet on an Oiler playoff game at playalberta.ca. As always, some conditions will apply. Okay, I'm just going to take over the segment here, Struds, because I have to give you your credit. When you're on, you're on. And it's only a matter of which one was better. So you're challenging me on my travel day. What are you taking a steamship? That was a high-end chirp. And I didn't know they did one stitch. Was another one. Zuby, look at Struds laughing at himself. We'll give you a minute, Struds, to laugh at your own jokes. Which one? You know what, Struds? You can pick. Which one did you like better?
I do think the steamship was pretty good. It was a pretty good one, I have to admit. Because if people could just see our group chat, you always talk about, I've got a travel day. Like, I'm like, where are you going? Like, I don't get it. So yeah, so bon voyage tomorrow. We hope it's a good trip.
Hope I make it in time for the pod post game on Monday night. Okay, good job, guys. Much appreciated. Struds, get back to civilization once your skin is nice and smooth. Your nails are all done, looking sharp and smooth.
Tight. Tight.
Tight
Ready
buns.
to go.
One Stitch, good job tonight, buddy. We'll talk in a couple of days.
Sounds good. I do have an idea for the one stitch hat. It just has one stitch. It's like Jerry Cheever's mask.
Yeah.
But it's just got one little stitch on it.
Just one little stitch. Yeah. And then you'll have to explain when people are like, what the hell's on your hat? That's goofy. Then you'll have to tell them that story.
Yeah.
I like it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the live stream. Awesome. Amazing numbers. Hit the thumbs up before you leave if you don't mind. We love you. Man, what a great live audience. Fantastic. It's built into something so cool. We talk about it all the time behind the scenes. This live show, we just started doing them this year, and it's just been amazing. So thank you. And we will chat with everybody after Game 7.